Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to share some basic information regarding tranquility meditation and insight meditation. So, tranquility meditation means collective awareness, and another way called chitta bhavana, one-pointness. So the meditation, the very connotation of the meditation is called bhavana. It's a very that clear interpretation is mental culture. So development of your mind and cultivate your awareness. Cultivate your awareness, purifying it from greed, hatred, and delusion. And other technique called vipassana meditation or insight meditation, or another way called the panya bhavana or analytical meditation. So once you develop your awareness, once you have the calmness, once you come to the one-pointness, from there, you develop analytical method to recognize your perception, especially what's happening within yourself, with your thoughts, with your feelings, with your bodily postures, and all the phenomena. Again and again, reflecting on that will take you to the depth of this happening. And that is where you can recognize who you are. Once you're capable to understand the depth of that you're happening, it brings certain kind of clarity yourself to clear the view regarding the life. That means it will help you to change your point of view. Why we need that clarity with our own point of view? Because if you look very carefully, you will see whatever the most of the struggle came to you because of your own choice. But when we select something we don't see, exactly as what it is. We most of time transform this world, transform this information, transform this perception, transform these feelings, transform these needs according to the way we want. It's mostly governed by the emotions. It's mostly governed by needs. It's mostly governed by desires. It's mostly governed by patterns or your habits. And because of that, what happens, we may mostly disconnect from the reality. And then we understand things in wrong way. We understand things, we take things according to the way we want, not exactly the way it happened. That is why things go wrong, or that is why we get into struggle. So in the very basic level, if you are capable to see things as it is, in that very moment, you create a gap in between the perception and the reactions. And that will help you to have a very clear understanding regarding around you and at the same time what is happening in you. It's a kind of like you gaining a very rescue method to yourself. And once you have that clear understanding itself, you create a path for yourself to have a peace and harmony within each and every moment in your life. You not came to this world to suffer. You not came to this world to struggle. You not came to this world to fight. But why it happened to us? Because the way we understand bring that struggle. So then according to the Buddha's teaching, what we need to do, just clear the view that we hold. Once you change the view, things going to change around you. So how then we can change the view if we don't see it? If we don't know how it happened, you can't bring the change. So when it comes to the human evolution, and the most of time that the people thought it's a natural adaptation. That's the human history, explain about the evolution. Or not only the human, that entire, the world. It's a natural adaptation. But when it comes to this adaptation, it is not a kind of like, when it comes to human, it is not a kind of like an accident. The adaptation is deeply in our mind. It's a conscious decision. So each and every moment, knowingly or unknowingly, you're taking a very conscious decision. And that unknown conscious decision sometimes can lead us to make a mistake. And so what we need to do, it's always happening. So then what we need to do, we need to bring the awareness. So the adaptation, when you take a very conscious decision, the change that you bring, because as human beings, as in this world, that as living beings, we can't escape from the change. The change always happening. But as you know that ourselves also, the change keep happening. Then how the repetition come? Because when the change happens, we allow it to happen. And it's kind of like, then it's follow the habits. But when the change happens, if you are capable to take a very conscious decision with that change always going to take you to the very new moment. So only thing then remember, try to understand it. The change always happening. And if you not become conscious, then if you go with the unconscious mind, what happened? Your previous past experience, habitual patterns overtake that change. That is where the repetition happens. That's why we call the history repeat. But when the change happens, if you take a very conscious decision, you are capable to experience something new. When you experience something new, what happens? That your moment of life going to become new. When the moment of life going to become new, so out of that moment, whatever the life you build, we call the world. And then the world going to become new. And at the same time, when the world, that repetition, we call the culture or the tradition, then the tradition going, the culture going to become new. So see that it's when you tune to that current, again and again, again and again, that if you are capable to be with that newness inside you, within your own mental views, you are capable to uplift and you are capable to grow yourself. So there is a natural process that happening in you with this growth. So only thing is, if you are capable to tune with the mind, because look at the body, that you no need any effort to grow yourself. It happened naturally. Only thing with the mind, if you are capable to release our mind from our own past, and how comfortable you are. So through the meditation, slowly, you're trying to pick that current. But when it comes to our life, that our own believing, our own understanding sometimes leads us to mistakes. Remember in the beginning of the world, people used to believe the world, the earth is the center of the universe. And they did all the calculations according to that. Just imagine, just go back to that. And how about when people thought about the world is the center of the universe, that mindset. And then overnight, what happened? It shifted to something and came with another idea. The sun is the center of the universe. So see what happened. That believing system shift to something and go and hold that. And that holding again create a certain kind of comfort. But what happens? We are not capable to evaluate ourselves to understand that last night that we used to think about, the world is the center. And now we hold the earth is the center. Now we hold the sun as the center of the universe. And now we hold it to that. But we have no capacity to understand. How about it go wrong? We don't challenge that, our own mental views. We hold it to that. So yourself, sometimes you went through many kind of hopes. It didn't happen. And you went through many kind of mental imaginations. You predict something regarding the people and it didn't happen. And you thought something and it completely opposite thing happened. You know that in your life you experience it. And it proved you that what you think not going to happen. But still, when some thoughts come to us today, We are not capable to understand, oh, yesterday what I thought didn't happen. Because of that, maybe this also not going to happen. We don't think like that. So whatever come to our mind, we think, oh, this is the one. Oh, I got it. This is going to happen this time. See? It's again and again, again and again. It's keep happening, but we don't see what really happened behind it. So when it comes to the insight meditation, this analytical meditation, it gives the power, it gives the strength, it gives the ability to analyze that deeper in you. Why you need that? Because it doesn't matter right or wrong, good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, joy or pleasure or pain. We hold, always we have nature to hold into these self-centered ideas. So through the meditation, you gain the ability to break it down. That breakdown helps you to be open to the very next moment. It's kind of like a get out of the egg. It's kind of like you born again. Otherwise, that the physically whatever we change, environment whatever we change, the mentally we keep repeating the same thing, or maybe we living in the same egg, inside the egg. So observing inhalation, exhalations, observing the sensation, observing your own thoughts, observing the phenomena, give you certain abilities to understand you are in a process. That process is not only for you. You are part of it. And as a result of that process, your life happens. So once you understand it, once you recognize you are part of this entire universe, you slowly release that self-centered idea. You don't personalize it. So once you have that, it deeply takes you to understand the nature of the mind, and then whatever that you hold with your mental ideas, views, you are capable to release. Listen this very carefully and try to grab it. Once you're capable to release from your own mind, you find the freedom. Not with this outside world. Once you are capable to release, get out from your own thoughts. But mostly, we are so comfortable with our thoughts, our mental views. And when you come to meditation, and once you start meditation after a while, and sometimes the meditation, that the idea about meditation slowly start to hold it to you. Oh, I practice meditation. And then once you have that, what happened? You have very nature to with any idea to hold and bring a mental view. Then what happened? Your meditation start to become your mental view. And then if someone don't practice meditation, you reject that person. If someone don't know about the meditation, and sometimes you think that person ignorance. And if someone don't do meditation, you think that person is not good. And as a result of that, what happened by the time? Even with it is outside, but now what happened inside? Try to be very clear with yourself. Now you come to the calmness, okay? And you feel in the very beginning, is when we start anything, sometimes in the beginning, very first few minutes, we feel comfortable, good. So you feel so comfortable, good. And at that right moment, what happened? You just get attached to that comfort inside you. Oh, my meditation is today very good. And then what happened in the very next moment, that your mind goes somewhere and you get disturbed out of it. And then the very first moment you had the thought about your meditation is good, your sitting is work very well, and that view, that point of view, what happened is start to bounce back and attack you, sabotage. How it happened? Because when you get disturbed, when the mind is the unbalance, from the point you heard, oh, my meditation is good, you start to attack your own mind and telling, oh, what happened to me? Why my mind is so busy? And then you struggle. And then you get disappointed. So that disappointment become a current in you. And most of the time in our life, more than the calmness, comfort, that we had the disappointment. So that current is so high. This little moment of disappointment has power to ignite that deeper underneath the sleeping disappointment. And then you blow out inside, and then you meditate, and then you try to, and then you go that kind of like, all the angry things happen inside you. That's meditation become kind of like a war zone inside your head. And then what happened? You kind of like, you start with a very good, comfortable mind, and you end up the meditation with very angry, disappointed mind. So why it happened that way? Because that you didn't see, you hold it to you, attached to the very moment of the comfort. And that comfort or that mental image or the hopes start to bring the disappointment regarding the very, you forget the very nature of the mind. You forget the very nature of the mind. That's happened in I'll do a very simple example with the babies, with the partners, with the husband, wife, with the children, with the parents, with the neighbors. When you come to the relationship, you forget they are human, because your relationship make you blind. You don't see anymore the human. You see, oh, my baby, my child, my husband, my wife, my neighbor. You don't see a human. So same thing happened with the comfort. Now you go to the mind, you hold it to the comfort, and then this is comfort, and that comfort start to struggle with that whatever. But if you're capable to understand the very nature of the mind, you observe the very nature of the mind, not the comfort. You not look for the comfort. You look for the nature of the mind, and as a result, you see sometimes mind become calm, sometimes mind become busy. That understanding detach you from reacting to the thoughts, and that moment you create a certain kind of calmness inside you, that you are capable to get the both, the calmness and the busyness both together. That is what you have to see. So then how it helps with the inhalation, exhalation? So this is what happened. If you look very carefully, when you observe the sensation, what happens, because everything we can't teach by words, but only practice point of view. I just tell this, but you have to When you practice, you have to forget it. That is a technique that we can go, because in this kind of facility, we can't. As example, if you are in a monastery or in a retreat center, like 10 days, 20 days, 3 months, you practice, then we can have a discussion, personal discussion, and go. Just I tell you for your personal reference. So remember that. Sometimes when we observe the inhalation, exhalation, we go with inhale, exhale. So through the sensation, we recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. And when you keep observe, sometimes we ask from the students or the yogi, so what do you see? And by the time, if you become very correct with the technique, you start to recognize the very pattern of the inhalation and exhalation, and you capable to see how the breathing happens with your body. With the inhalation, exhalation, how the body flow with that. And then you detach from the labeling, this is inhalation, this is exhalation. And you just capable to observe and see the both nature together without separating. And that is why you see that inhalation and exhalation has the both behavior, the same behavior. And that is why you see the body responding to inhalation, exhalation, both the same way. And that is why you get into the change, the simple word. It doesn't matter the inhalation or exhalation, you experience the change. So just imagine when you, in your mind, if you see the inhalation, in this very moment, what happens? It deeply creates a kind of like a boundary. Separate you from all other experience when you say inhale. And when you see it as exhalation, in that very moment, what happened? You create a boundary from all other experience. So then you become very limited to that. It is very necessary from the beginning of practice. But by the time what happens, when the mind starts to expand, there is no separation in between the inhalation or the exhalation, it's the change. So just imagine when you come to the change. So that inhalation, exhalation, you can keep counting, or you can go with a kind of like a 10, 20 minutes non-stop. Inhale, exhale, so like that. Always the mind, moment by moment need to jump. Why? Because the inhalation has a different nature, and then from there you go to the exhalation. Exhalation has a different nature. So in that very moment, you create a gap. That means you jump to other side. Then again, inhalation. So in that, when that come to that experience, your entire process of observation shift to that level. Exhalation. So in that it is moment by moment, it creates a path. But how about when the both inhalation, exhalation, you experience the change? So once you're capable to grab that change, what happened? your mind don't jump, or it doesn't shift from moment by moment experience. It doesn't create a boundary moment by moment with the inhalation or exhalation. Now you in the middle, you take that inhalation and exhalation both as the change. So that is where you create a continuation, and it will help you to deeper settle down. So now you observe it with the inhalation, exhalation, and then anywhere within your body with the sensation or the pain or anything, that when something happens, you are capable to get it as the change. So now you tune to the higher level of frequency, see that everything, that all the things without naming and getting into a form, you just tune to this change. So you see that everything as a part of change. And that is where deeply you detach from the holding or the naming or pointing out, pinpointing or grasping it as a personal event. So if you are capable to take it kind of like a 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's a deeper level of experience come to you, because it in entire body with one inhalation or exhalation, that it's deeply, this change always keep happening. It's kind of like you get into the flow. And that is where that when even with the outside situations, and maybe somebody become happy and somebody become sad. So the same person, when somebody become happy, what happened if you go with the pace value or the outside situation? When somebody become happy, you go with that person and you like that person. And when somebody become unhappy, you reject that person. So that is the very ordinary way we analyze. But if you see that both as a result of change, you anymore not going to shift or change or create boundary according to the person, the other person happiness or the sadness. You take this both as the result of change. So that is where deeply you tune to the equanimity, because you don't go with the outside behavior. Why? Because you know now deeply tuned to the bottom of nature. And then that itself take you to very calm, relaxed, comfortable, very humble mood. Why? Because you know that what you experience from the outside, that outside object itself change, and at the same time the subject that experience also change. Now you tune to the change. But most of the time, if you don't see that change, what happens? You hold it to your point of view. So when it happens with the meditation, it is so worst. That's why sometimes when people come to meditation, and by the time they get angry, they get mad. But still, by the time that you are capable to purify it. So because in our samsaric journey, we already accumulated a lot of unnecessary information with the greed, hatred, delusion, envy, jealousy. We are kind of like a huge mountain with that. So, and sometimes that moment of your tranquility state, if you are not aware of what will happen, slowly jump and ignite the other side of the busyness, unhappiness, or the envy. So, but once you know the change, once you see the change, what happens? You not anymore not go in that way and ignite it. You are more become calm and relaxed and get the best opportunity out of the practice. So that is where by the time, so hold it to the change. Don't go into the mental views. Even you have a view, remember, that also changes. Take the ultimate place, take the epicenter and settle down with the change. And then what will happen? It's by the time that your mind always, even in day-to-day life with your perception, that whatever you perceive right away, your mind get into the change. So that is where deeply you're going to detach. So any more than you, that whatever the mental formations or the sanskara, that anymore not going to become that much strong. So then while you practice, always remember that look at the inside that behavior and don't hold it to that. So whatever you experience, and especially that's why it's in the vipassana level, whatever you experience, your awareness, you always hold anchoring to the change. And once you go with that, once you're capable to see, it will help you to recognize unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. So hold it to the change and go with the change. The change, it's why it is change. Why you don't go to the self-centered mind first? Because change is very visible. That's why. You can see it. In the beginning, we need the kind of like a very simple that evidence to understand. So the change you can see, even any sensation or any pain, and especially with the inhalation, exhalation, look, what you experience with the inhalation, exhalation, very simply, you experience the change. So that's why, even though it is very simple, that is the most powerful thing. So once you're capable to recognize the change, and anymore your self-centered view not going to become that much powerful. But if you don't see the change, what happened? Very easily, your self-centered mind can hold there and get into the very permanent idea. So whatever you take as permanent, and right away what happened? The self-centered mind settle down there. But if you are going to the bottom level and see the change, even self-centered mind come and self-centered idea come and try to settle down, it's not going to happen. So then always remember practicing meditation and deeply, and with the inhalation, exhalation, and even any sensation or even any thoughts arise, if you look very carefully, all these four foundations in vipassana, even if you observe a thought simply without reacting, what you see the change. And even the phenomena, all the natural behavior in our body, what you see, the change. The change is the very visible thing. When you look at the sun, when you look at the moon, when you look at the trees, when you look at the fish tank, when you look at the cat, dog, when you look all the nature, environment, birds, the clouds, when you look this everything, what you see the change. But the thing is, when you look it with the point of the self-centered mind and created point of view, we can't go deeper and see the change. And then we enjoy that whatever that our mental views, but we miss the reality. See that when otherwise, that when it comes to the enlightenment, it's everywhere, the true nature. It's not a kind of like a dogma or kind of like a created idea. The change, it is the very visible, it is the very living thing. That's why even this life happening. But in day-to-day life, we don't see it. That is what itself called the ignorance, what in another way. So we mostly hold it to the names and forms, and we always build up the names and forms, and we go with it. But if there is not the change happen, you are not capable to experience this anything. So then rather than hold it to the names or the forms or the shape, the face value outside surface level, learn in the, that is the very nature, that is the very character, the behavior of the vipassana. Go to the depth and see. So the change. So then today with the meditation, just focus to that and be conscious. And even though in the beginning, you see inhalation, exhalation, in the beginning, we settle down with the tranquility meditation. But with that settle down, try to see the change. Don't try to name it. Don't try to more analyze it. Don't try to more bring kind of like a thoughts towards it. Just simply see the, see the change. And that will little by little, make you very familiar to see the change rather than going to more mental image or the words or visualization. And once you tune to that, in a certain level, your mind will shift to a certain flow that everything is changed. That is the very nature. So try to catch that. And at the same time, remember yourself, and always you have to see the way, the observer, the very condition of the observer. You have to be more calm, relaxed, humble, and at the same time, you have to be strong, awake. And you don't drop the desire, but you don't have too much desire. Because if you drop the desire, it makes you more lethargic, sleepy. If you have too much desire, it makes you so tired. So that you have to always balance the mind. But at the same time, remember, don't get into any mental image, that with the experience, that whatever you see the change. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. And your right palm on your left. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. We also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation, and at the same time, be aware about the change happening. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please. And bring your attention to the sensation. Be with it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavatacha sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.